Well, g'day everyone. Welcome to SolarPlus's first live stream. In fact, we're going out to lots of platforms today. So welcome everyone on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn. Hope you're all having a great day. And thanks for joining us for this sort of live stream. So today we're going to be introducing the team here at SolarPlus and talking a bit about some of the cool new features and a little bit of a challenge at the end. I think Laurie's going to try and get a quote out in 1 minute using SolarPlus. So that's something to hang in there for. But what I'd like to do is introduce the team first. So let's just bring everyone in board. So here we go. This is the team. Welcome.
Hi everyone. Nice to meet you. Laurie Kane.
Scott Young.
And I think you're muted, Anne, but the usual story. So let's just give people a bit of a role description. So I'm really just kind of the MC, a little bit of promotion for the company, but I'll go right back to when Laurie and I started it. We'll talk about it in a minute. Laurie, what do you do for SolarPlus?
Yeah, well, I use a couple of titles, and one of them is Captain of Innovation. So sometimes I'm just kind of hustling to get things together for our clients and help them be effective in their businesses. But Captain of Innovation is a title I like because that's really something that we're strong on, is just keeping evolving a product based on the requests of our users. And we've now got, almost 10 years of experience and requests from users for fantastic features.
Cool. How about you, Scott? What do you do for SolarPlus on a daily basis?
Okay, so my official title is the National Sales Manager. Look, we really focus on Australia and New Zealand, but we do have a few international accounts as well, because the whole platform is actually designed as a global solution. Day to day, I'm talking with installers that are looking for a better solution for their business, whether that's for quote workflows or accuracy or whatever it might be. And so I typically spend my day showing people through the SolarPlus platform, understanding their business, and hopefully showing them how SolarPlus can be a great solution for them.
Cool. Thanks, Scott. And Anne, what do you do for SolarPlus on a daily basis?
Well, my role title is Senior Technical Advisor. So my background is that I'm an electrician and accredited solar installer, and I've worked in the industry for since 2007, installed I don't know how many hundreds of resi and off-grid and commercial jobs. So now I help with the technical aspect of the product development and also training new users in how to use the product.
Cool. Thanks. So I just want to remind everyone that because this is going as a live stream, you can actually ask questions and we can answer them in the live stream too. So look, feel free just to go into your comments or and type in some stuff in there, and we'll respond to them as we feel appropriate through the session. But we're going to have a little talk with Laurie a little bit about the history of SolarPlus. So yeah, Laurie, so just got to bring Laurie on. Here we go. So Laurie.
Yeah, and Glenn, maybe we should just give people a bit of manage expectations a little. I think we're probably going to go for 30, 40 minutes today in this session.
Cool. So Laurie, do you remember the good old days when we first started selling solar? We had a great time. We had that big desk and loads of sheets of paper and data sheets and laptops and spreadsheets and phone calls to suppliers to see what the pricing was. They were good days, weren't they?
So many software programs. No, they weren't really good days. No, actually, yeah, after a nervous breakdown, I think I eventually said, this has got to stop, Glenn. We've got to do something better than this. And surely not everyone is dealing with all of this compliance paperwork and nightmare of tracking quotes and installs. So yeah, that did kick off the SolarPlus journey. And it's been fantastic. But we did start off, of course, with the Smart Energy Council as a partner, a founding partner.
Yeah, and that was like over 7 years ago now.
Yep, but almost 9 actually.
Oh.
It is about 9 years. Yeah.
Sorry, I've been saying 7 years for the last 2 years, so I think that's
that's right. And the aim at that time was to develop a best practice solar design tool, help installers with that side of it, but also automate the system manual, which was a big job for people, and there's still a lot of people that struggle with that.
Yeah. Oh, so I put the wrong caption on there. So you can always just follow us on Facebook for those who are not actually on Facebook at the moment, the SolarPlus AU. So I might just pop that up from time to time. So Laurie, we've come a long way, and we've got some cool new features, and I think you want to talk about those a little bit.
So many features. So we're on SolarPlus V4 now. We just launched SolarPlus V4, which is pretty remarkable platform. Excuse me. We've upgraded the system constantly over the years, but this was really a big shift to a modern mapping tool with lots of choices, much easier design process, and really integrated the string configuration and design with the mapping tool. And it also introduces some nice customer-facing changes. So we're moving away from the old big PDF to hand to a customer to read through, to a more interactive online presentation where they can look at choices, weigh up choices, make decisions about a quote, what it's going to include, whether they have finance, and accept online, pay a deposit, and it's all automated through that process, so that they are then getting the confirmation. You're getting the confirmation. There's a lot more automation coming into things, which is fantastic.
So Laurie, I might bring your presentation on and let you talk to that. So I'm just going to bring that up on screen. There we go. And I'll just pop into the background for the time being. Getting some questions coming in. That's great.
Yeah, we'll take a look in the platform a little later on, but let's just run through a few things. And this is really what we're about as a company, is helping more people switch on to clean energy. And the way we do it is through our platform SolarPlus and supporting everyone who's using it. We're really about extending the team of all of our clients and being part of their team. So what we wanted to talk to you today is about some of the challenges that we see installers, retailers, and other solar professionals facing in the industry right now. And there are some pretty unique challenges. I think people have seen in the last month a bit of a switch from on the sales front and on the lead front, with maybe a little bit of that stimulus tap being switched off and people adjusting to not having quite so much cash flow. But still, I think we'll see things growing well regardless. So we want to give you a few insights on managing a business in this marketplace and the regulatory environment, and talk a bit about our solutions. And yes, we are going to pitch SolarPlus as a good solution to address some of these things. So SolarPlus is used by a huge range of companies, from very small to very large. We do have some companies with big teams, including sales people, designers, installers who are using it on the job, managers looking at the metrics and sales reporting, office managers, trainers as well. So and it covers systems from residential, battery, off-grid, and small to large commercial. So let's just have a look at a few points about some of the headaches in solar right now. And something that a lot of people deal with is feeling of loss of control, particularly when a business is doing well. You know, when you've got a lot of leads coming in, you've got a bunch of installs underway, and your business is growing. How do you track right through that customer journey? keep on top of all of those leads and the follow-up to quotes and the installation process, managing all of that compliance documentation, it can be a lot of work. And if you've got data in a lot of different places, you might have 10 programs that are there as part of your business. So that's fine if they're integrated and talking to each other, but if not, that can cause all sorts of problems.
Cool. So we had a little bit of sound quality problem there, Laurie. I'm not quite sure what that was. You sound a little bit like you're deep underwater, but I think we got the gist of it. So apologies for any audio there. So that's all good. So carry on.
Yeah. How's it now, Glenn? Is that okay?
Yep. All good.
So yeah, and sometimes the wrong person's on the wrong tool. It sort of takes certain skills to do quoting quickly and well, and sometimes the installer is better off doing what they're really best at, which is guiding and supervising installs. Something that is pretty much a problem, or something that every growing business faces as they start to scale up, is lack of process. So something that every large company has is standard operating procedures, consistency in their business by setting up processes once and making it repeatable. And that's kind of pretty important in terms of scaling up a business. Let's head on to some common sales issues. And one of the most common is not following up fast enough. And there's been some interesting studies, and these are admittedly all in the States that these studies come out of. But there's some amazing figures, like over 200% conversion increase if a contact is made within minutes. Now that might be hard to do, but you can see that the impact and benefit to the bottom line is pretty remarkable. But even if it's just within a day, 5 minutes to a day, that can be a 17% increase in conversions. And having complete system packages ready to go, having that process set up means you can get quotes out in a minute. And I am going to try and get a quote out in a minute later on. Not sure if I can achieve it, but I'll give it a good go. So online acceptance also helps with conversion. And as mentioned, we're kind of moving away from the PDF document that is maybe not as enticing in today's world, where people are used to dealing with things quickly online. So it is important when dealing with customers to ask and listen and get to understand what their motivation is. And, if you're sort of saying, so what have you picked up so far about solar? You'll probably learn whether they've already had some quotes and what they've picked up through that, so that you can educate them, you can help to solve things for them and understand their priorities. And how much are they energy conscious, and are they a green consumer, or are they really looking at their bottom line and the cost of energy? So you can have custom proposals all set up, ready to go. And some of these system packages, pre-built system packages and customizable proposals are some of the things that are really great about a software platform like SolarPlus to solve.
Hey, Laurie, one question that we get quite a bit is, can I customize it so it looks like my product? It doesn't have SolarPlus written all over it.
Yeah, totally. So our proposals are there out of the box and can be branded very quickly, just with some quick updates in order to get people up and running. But they're 100% customizable, so every business can make them quite unique and branded to their business, and able to tell the story the way you want to tell the story, which is important. Something else that comes up in terms of sales is not maintaining contact for long enough. And again, some studies, and this one is a little bit old. This was sort of 2013. This study came out saying the average time to commit from the first time they've thought about solar is 9 months. So that's a long time that they could be sitting there in a sales pipeline. And so again, important to be able to manage that communication. You can use tags in SolarPlus and email templates to keep reaching out to those good prospects. So
okay, I think we're having a little audio problem there with you, Laurie. I'm just going to interrupt you for a moment. Look, do you want to just leave that slide on screen for a tick? Or just let your audio catch up. So I might just cross over to Scott. If you're ready, Scott, just give us a nod there. And cross over to Scott. Here we go.
Okay. Hi, Glenn. Hi, everybody.
Oh, we're actually having a little stream hiccup here. That's interesting.
Okay, I can hear you now.
The joys of live streaming. And hi, Scott.
Hi, Glenn. I can hear you loud and clear.
Cool. So when you're involved in introducing the package to potential subscribers, what are the key points that you bring up?
Look, I think we're all in the solar industry, of course, but there are different ways of going to market. So understanding what I do is understand get a good understanding of the way the customer's operating. We do have owner operators, your mum and dad operators. We've got marketing companies. We have lead generators. And everything in between. So understanding really the business model that they're running under to provide the best solution. And SolarPlus has been developed over, particularly version 4, over the last few years. And the tools that we have been designed to pretty much meet every scenario. And of course, part of my job in understanding the customer's needs is to add suggestions to the development pipeline. So whenever there's a suggestion, then those suggestions go back for consideration for being included in the next release.
Thanks for that, Scott. Like I think the problem was my end, not your end. So I'm just going to pass it back to Laurie. So Laurie, just thanks for that, Scott. That was actually quite a good segue to you.
Yeah, cool. You can see here, as I mentioned, the integration of the design of the solar system in with the map tool now in SolarPlus. And it really is great for having system packages ready to roll. So a customer comes in and they may come in from something like Solar Quotes or a lead form on your website. It can come directly in, be automated, so that pops up in your contacts list, and you can bring them in, select a package, and generate a quote as soon as you've done the panel layout. So then the custom proposal allows you to tell your story, and there's many ways that you can configure things to tell the story you want to tell, but also for larger commercial jobs, focus on particular things, whether it's demand reduction, savings from a battery system that's doing peak lopping. There's lots and lots of options for customizing the proposal. And some of the things that you want to keep in mind maybe in doing that is kind of trying to address the customer objections before they object. And so some people still think that solar is ugly, it's going to kind of spoil their roof. And you can get a nice map tool, get a nice panel layout image to address that and put that early on, and get that in front of your customer early on in the piece to address it. Now, there is an idea that, solar is expensive and there's this big upfront cost. But what you can mention and show with a proposal is that doing nothing is expensive, and going solar, or even solar and storage, can be worthwhile, particularly if you can offer a finance system, and they're more readily available now than ever before. And this, we've got to understand that for some people, they really don't have much understanding of how solar works. So there's that education part in developing the relationship, but also if you've got high-level energy modeling and the sort of modeling that we provide in SolarPlus and that you can see in the reports, you're helping to the customer to overcome that the issue with their lack of knowledge by putting more trust in you as their advisor. And also good to offer choice, show them the yield with solar or with solar and storage, which we do for any time that storage is offered in SolarPlus. It's automatically showing the solar yield as a comparison, and showing cash versus finance scenarios, for example. So here you can see when you get into the modeling in SolarPlus, you can drill down to actual day-to-day variation. And we pull in solar radiation data from Medianorm, which is a global weather service, and provides 10 square kilometer radiation data across the world. So it's very localized. And with that, we can very accurately model battery state of charge, as you can see there in the dotted line. And you can drill down and see what's happening from day to day in winter, where there might be a few days of low sunshine or limited solar availability. Particularly important, of course, if you're looking at off-grid systems. Then when you're showing the financial advantages of the system, here again you can see in the grey what it's going to cost them going forward versus with solar and with solar and storage. So you can show that extra benefit with storage and quantify it. If you're offering a finance system, great to be able to show them a cash flow positive scenario. And you can do that with a chart like this, a stacked cash flow chart. And you can see there's an allowance for reinvestment in future years. So you're not over-promising. You can talk about a 25-year return on investment, but still show them that there might be some reinvestment required later in the piece, and be realistic about things. And they'll appreciate that. They'll appreciate that you're looking after their best interests. And maybe I'll hand over to Scott to run through a few things.
Okay, thanks very much, Laurie. So look, I suppose as I said earlier, in my day-to-day activities, I'm really getting a good understanding of the challenges that installers have, but on the reverse of that, and also salespeople. Salespeople are not installers, so SolarPlus provides a solution from whichever direction you're looking at, the install or the sale. It's all part of a process within SolarPlus. So saving on time obviously is something particularly. Look, I reckon the last few months, everyone is like, I haven't got enough time. I'm on a roof on the phone talking to you. Let's make some time next week. So look, time is always a challenge in a market that's booming the way solar is at the moment. And of course, the more efficient that you can be in your admin, quoting, sales processes, the better. The more time you're going to have to actually do the good stuff, which is putting systems on properties and getting the cash in. Can you go to the next line, please, Glenn? Thanks. So look, so keeping everything together in one platform. And as we have touched on earlier on, we've got a lot of options for mapping and imaging. With mapping and imaging, there's no perfect solution, but we have a number of solutions for mapping and imaging within SolarPlus. You can import to scale images from building plans. So even if there's just a lot number in the middle of nowhere, you can set up the reference for the location with an imported image, even if it's just a design plan. And then we also have things like Metro Map, which is has been around for some time. Metro Map images have been okay for many years, but now they've really ramped it up. They've purchased a couple of businesses with existing high resolution imaging all around Australia. So that's also another good option for you, and it's a very cost effective option. Compliant documentation. Look, we always have stuck with being as compliant through the documentation process. Your CEC compliance for your retailer application, your documentation from SolarPlus can be used as a part of that application. We go right through your proposal and also through your on-site checks, through to the handover manual, and that can be can all be customized, as can all of your proposals, as Laurie mentioned earlier on. Communications, outgoing, so sending out your proposals. It's all done from within SolarPlus. It goes into a customer log. You can search all of that information. So yeah, look, it really is a single place of reference. Now we're going to go on to the next one. I do have another item there, which is job margin. So look, within the SolarPlus pricing page, where your system will be built, either you can build it from scratch, or obviously it can be built from a pre-existing package. There's always a margin per job there. If you run your pricing within SolarPlus, then you can have your margin per job. If you're a sales company and everything goes out at $5,999 or whatever it might be, you don't have to have pricing in SolarPlus. You can use a price override, and that will still create the proposals as it would on another page. Okay, customer dashboards. We've done some exciting work on this part of the system in the last, probably 6 months. The customer dashboard, look, you log in, it's a customizable dashboard. So whether it's more applicable to a salesperson, an admin person, you can customize that page where you go in. You can have a to-do list. We link out to your calendar. So we go out to Google Calendar, which means you can pretty much link to everything you need to link to. Sales reporting, so management get visibility of the stats for the business, which is obviously useful for forecasting and financial planning of the business. And a very new dashboard we've just released, you'll see on the bottom right of your screen, is the In-Store Manager. Now this gives you all of your current jobs in a single view. It's sortable by pretty much any which way you like, and of course you can add custom activities in there. It's built for your business, and you can invite anyone you want to each activity there. So look, it's a really comprehensive dashboard, something that we've put a lot of thought into, and it's been very well received by customers. So yeah, look, I suppose wrapping my section up is tips on increasing profit is, look, automate everything. SolarPlus it can be a one-stop shop for automating the whole process of providing a solar solution. Having said that, we do integrate out to other platforms. So if you're using HubSpot or SimPro or ServiceMate or any of these others, then yeah, absolutely, we do link out to different ones. We have payment solutions. We've got Xero that we've got a full API with. An API means it basically automates that process of reporting back to that software. Leads can come straight in from our web form or from Solar Quotes. and then we've got all of our scheduling tools. So and anything else we can't link to, you can link through Zapier. So yeah, there's a lot going on. Anyway, look, what I might do is I'm going to hand over to Anne now. I hope that's been helpful. Obviously, any information you need, please contact me directly, and I'll hand over to Anne.
Thanks, Scott. We also give you training when you start out with SolarPlus. So often people will decide that they're swamped with all of their admin things and they've got a pile of leads that they just need to get quotes out for and just need to pump through this backlog. So we start you out with the training by giving you access to a bunch of different tutorials that show you how to do things, and you can look at them in your own time. And then we also do one-on-one sessions which are tailored to your actual needs. So we can work on those to clear your backlog, get you started with just the basics to get them out quick. And then once you're sorted with that and things are a bit more under control, or if you've got a good rainy day when you're in the office and you have the time to set up all of the other back-end stuff. So get your inventory really well sorted out, get your customizations down, and really start to look at some of the more detailed aspects of the software, like how to customize the consumption, the load profiles, how to upload detailed NEM data or metering data so that you can get really good modeling done, and how to do some other things. I just saw a question I can answer here from Caleb, who's in New Zealand. That's great because our founders, Laurie and Glenn, are both Kiwis and familiar with the industry over there as well. So it does cater for New Zealand as well. We have quite a few customers in New Zealand and in other countries as well. Yeah. Back to you, Glenn, then perhaps.
Cool. Thanks very much, Anne. Well, we're coming to the tail end of the live stream today, and I've just kind of reminiscing a bit about what Laurie and I talked about at the beginning, that, we kind of had a dream way back then 9 years ago that somehow solar could be easier to sell. And, it wasn't a bigger spreadsheet. It was using software. And really there's kind of a parallel with what's happened with selling just goods in general. If you think back, once upon a time, people used to stand on the side of the street and just yell out, "Hey, come on, buy my veggies." That was pretty basic. And then we started to get more sophisticated. We went online. People started putting up web pages, and shopping via a web page was pretty clunky. You'd have to manually process all the orders and call people back and get their credit card details. But, now we have things like Shopify, and it's a fully automated package, so you don't have to be the expert in everything. You can focus on what you're good at and let the software do the rest. And in many ways, that's kind of where we've come to with SolarPlus. It's a complete package. It does all the hard stuff for you. You can stick to stuff that you're good at and let the software manage the whole suite. So that's kind of the end for today. I'll just bring all the team back on and say farewell, and just remind everyone that you can contact us through our Facebook page or through various direct messaging formats. And hang on, just bring us all on equally. There we go. Sorry about that, Scott. Made you look like the CEO.
Come on, how about my challenge, Glenn?
Oh, gee, I was doing the rap. But so, are you ready for the challenge? You only need 1 minute.
Yeah.
All right, it's time for the challenge. All right, drum roll. 1 minute. Bringing. Go for it. You're on.
No pressure. Just like. Oh.
Logging in.
There's a little bit of pressure because I've actually just logged out. Just take me off screen for a sec, Glenn, and I get back in. Yeah, thanks. All righty.
Right.
Now, you've just got to stop the clock.
Okay, I've stopped the clock this time.
Okay.
And
That's good.
You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, quoting for fast prospect. I'll just put my email in just so that we have a there, and I can do it quickly. There's a whole site survey that we could be doing. Your lead could have come in from another source, as mentioned. You can have things configured so that you don't actually have to spend time on the energy assessment if you don't want to. Like I can have a default tariff configured and a default profile. Just pop in the energy information for that, or the energy daily use for that customer. You can switch through various mapping tools, get a little map layout done. This
30
is going to
seconds.
be most of my minute. I know. But don't worry, I'm going to select the system package. When I select that package, it's got all of the configuration options, so I can just drag and drop to put different arrays onto different surfaces.
10 seconds.
And this is not a simple roof, okay? So I'm just gonna put
Over
some
time.
holes over here. Okay, not quite a minute, but I'm actually pretty much done. Now, believe it or not, the quote is already priced up. The system is designed, it's capturing the image. All I need to do now is hit send. So I haven't gone in and examined all of the reporting information, and of course we would generally do that to make sure that for this particular site and for that customer's info, we've got the details we want. Now that's just sending in the background. I'll just open one that I've already sent email to myself. So that was an email that the customer receives. They click on that to take a look at their quote. They can pull up the full proposal to go through that and get a real understanding of what they're being offered. So yeah, in terms of the actual reporting, there's lots of detail that goes in here. I've just jumped into a commercial one so you can get a bit of a sense of what you can do in terms of the reporting. You can drill down to a particular week to get the actual day-to-day modeling view and see what happens when there's not so much sunshine. In this case, it's actually there's a battery that's not doing much for a few days, except it's taking some of the peaks off. So it is actually reducing the cost. But in winter months, great to be able to drill down, see what's happening with peak demand, and go right through the savings analysis and lifetime return on investment for that customer. So we're moving, as I mentioned, into a new sales view where the customer can take a look at different offers that you've put in front of them, choose which one they want to accept. They can see then the details in that particular system, accept the quote, sign off, pay the deposit, everyone's happy, and the install process then kicks off. One last thing I might just throw in, just as a bit of fun, we're just in the process of preparing our new 3D mapping tool to go live. And so in the next few weeks, we'll be finalizing that and shipping that to our customers to get some really cool 3D map views.
Great. Wow. 3D views. That's pretty impressive. Okay. Well, sorry about cutting you there on the 1 minute challenge, but you did pretty well. You're about 1 minute and 15 seconds, but I think logging in took the longest. So it wasn't too bad. Yeah, some great features and some cool stuff coming up. Definitely is. And yeah, look, I really appreciate our customers and the feedback they give us, the insights into their businesses and what they'd like to see. It's great to be able to just keep working on refining what is a pretty amazing end-to-end platform.
And one thing I should point out is that we are careful with our customers' data. You know, it's something that is an important thing to us, that a customer's privacy, the security of their data, and you know, we don't go in and use that data. We don't sell things to our customers. We just try to provide the best service we can and support them as best we can.
Great. Okay, I think we're done for the day.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, so I guess anyone who wants a demo can get in touch through the website, as mentioned. Go to solarplus.co, reach out, and yeah, we'll be happy to take you through in detail and see what SolarPlus can do for your business.
Great. All right. Well, we'll see you on the next webinar. Probably similar platforms. So thanks for attending, everyone. See ya.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.